Last time in the Everstorm campaign, the party have narrowly defeated a vicious horde of crocodilian men called Swamp Jaws. In the aftermath, tensions were high. Paladins of the Silver Shield had come to arrest members of the team, including young Fulcrum, and the party was unsure whether to stay and face the music or to take to the high seas. As fate would have it, Captain Burl's family was among the missing townsfolk, meaning the crew had to stick around a little bit longer. The semi-reluctant heroes were confronted by angry townsfolk that blamed the town's recent spat of disastrous luck on Burl and his crew. Through miraculous wordplay, a bit of magical surveillance, and a large dose of luck, the party managed to get the townsfolk to view them as allies. At the break of dawn, the crew would have to step off into the swamps to a ruined temple, teeming with reptilian marauders in an attempt to rescue the residents of Shepherd's Point. Be sure to tune in Saturday, January 19th around 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time to see where the story continues in Episode 9, Mud and Teeth. Meanwhile, as most of the crew got some much-needed rest, Skeezer and Fulcrum struck up a rather personal conversation. Away from the prying ears of others, the two discussed the complexities of Fulcrum's upbringing and what it means to play the role you've been given. We begin the scene as an exhausted Skeezer knocks on Fulcrum's door.
Come in?
Yeah, hey, it's Skeezer.
As you'd come in, you'd see he is Fulcrum. I'm sitting on my bed cross-legged, and I'm already focusing on a vial, and it's slowly starting to fill up with red liquid. Hi, I figured we were going to need some of these tomorrow, so before I went to bed.
It seems like you never go to sleep, do you?
Oh, no, I do. This isn't a particularly long stretch, but if I can get a little bit of a breather, I can at least work some of these new tricks again.
Yeah,
So,
well,
there's that.
I figured it's been a while since just the two of us had a conversation, so, it's been since that first fateful day before we got on the boat. And I thought maybe, given
Right.
kind of the revelations that have come out tonight, maybe it's a good time to check in, see how you're doing.
Oof. I appreciate that. Much rather would be at seconds and thirds right now.
Oh boy, yeah, well, such good food.
Yeah, it
It's
was.
been a while.
I'm not great. I wasn't really. I didn't know how to talk about any of this, and once they started talking, I just kept talking, and it just kind of all came out. And I don't know if you just all don't understand enough to not run screaming from me. I'm touched you haven't, but I don't know. I'm just trying to focus on helping the villagers. It kind of is. It's helping me.
What do you
Just-
think that is?
Why? What is?
No, why is that your decision? Why are you going about, helping the villagers? And why do you think that makes you feel better?
Because I know that the people who understand what it is that I am, they expect me to be a monster, and I'm not. And I guess it's a little selfish that some of it I know comes from a need to want to prove that I'm better than they think I am.
Well, we're all a little bit of both things. Some more than others, but, it would be a foolish thing not to be you, right? I mean, you don't really get any other options.
No, it's just me. So you're right.
I've been thinking about this sort of topic a lot. I used to talk to the children whenever I was a teacher, and we would share times where the kids would each take a turn reading from history, major events, things that are unusual, big characters, people who were very important. Some of them were heroes and lovely and wonderful, and they did all these good things. And some were villains. And I had each of the children play a role. And so when the character came into the scene, they would read their lines and they would be that character. And at the end of the day, the kids did well when they did what they were supposed to do. Be the person they were. Now, you may know directly, or at least you think you know, you're a creator. But when it comes down to it, ultimately speaking, we're all the creations of, well, greater beings. Now, we can be nothing more than what they've made us to be. In the sense, the gods willed the Baron to make you. And so, in his wickedness, maybe he's created you in a way that you will experience things differently than what the Baron would do.
Maybe you're right. It's just, I don't know. It's been great doing this. I mean, these have been some of the best. I know we've nearly died a lot.
Quite a
over
few
the
times,
last
in fact.
few weeks. But I don't know. All I had before, after I really kind of came to understand what I was I mean, I hated myself. But the last few weeks, I don't know, I've been really happy.
Mm-hmm.
It's terrible, some of the things that we've seen happen, but it's felt good to help. And it's felt good to be able to get to know people who actually just want to know me for me, like you, Skeezer. Thanks.
Hey, you're welcome. You know, it's it's these opportunities that bring the good out in us, right? So if it wasn't for these swamp jaws coming in and capturing the townspeople, we would have just got on that boat and left. Without these moon beasts, terrorizing the wedding, we would have never met those children. We had never made a mark on those children's lives, and showing that strangers can care. And so in a way, we owe the moon beasts and the lockjaws kind of a gratitude. Well, gratitude? Debt of gratitude. There we go.
I'm not sure they'll see it that way when we're attacking them tomorrow, but I kind of see what you mean. Yeah.
They won't like us, but
no,
in a
they
way,
definitely won't.
All pieces in the puzzle come together to create something bigger and more. It's like the illusions that I cast, right? So people often ask me, is that real? And, well, it's a good question. It's a creation. It thinks, it carries about its activities exactly as it should. So if I made a copy of you and had it walking around, it would be participating in its fulcrumness. And the closer to being like fulcrum, the better it would be doing. The better it is, the more good, the more real. But in order to do that, we need to know a lot of things about the real fulcrum, to understand him, to remember him.
That's why you take so many notes.
Yeah. Well, I mean, my feelings, really once somebody is gone, all that remains is memory. Whether it's just somebody has left port and gone somewhere else, or they passed beyond the Great Veil. In the end, all that remains are the memories that other people have of us. And since I can't guarantee anyone else is going to remember who I am or the people I know, I take the notes. So they'll always live in here. He pats his book.
Huh. That's really sweet, actually.
Well, it's a little selfish too. I figure this book, someday somebody will find it, and they'll remember all the people I knew. And in that, me as well.
I think you're going to go on to make great things happen, Skeezer. I think a lot of people are going to remember you.
Yeah, I sure hope so. I've been thinking, what is it you would remember about me?
You are the most kind-hearted person I had ever met. And I haven't met a lot of very nice people, but you top all of them.
Well, to be fair, you
what
haven't
I
met a
remember.
lot of people.
No, but you're still the nicest.
Well,
So,
thank you.
I mean, Rayton's a close second, but he's a little bit more aggressive than you.
Well, he's got some vigor and youth.
Oh, sure. Yeah,
You know,
I do too.
what do you think is going on with my my look-alike?
Oh, your twin?
Mm.
I don't know. I mean, I'm hardly like a. I'm not like you. I don't really know a lot about magic. I mean, I don't think I really even understand what's happening with me right now. I mean, no, I don't think I really understand it yet. I'm still trying to work it out. But with what's happening with you and Dibben, I really don't know. It's kind of confusing.
Just a
I
little
know
bit.
I did see when we fell down that pit
Hmm?
together, and I mean, I thought we were both going to die, and I was reaching out to see if I could try and help you. I saw that mark that you have on your back.
Hmm.
It flashed for a moment, really bright, and then you kind of came back to life. You weren't breathing until that happened. I think, if I'm remembering that right.
Hmm.
And I don't know what that has to do. I mean, I know we saw that Dibben has one that doesn't look quite like yours, but he has one too. And I mean, that seems like it has something to do with it. But I mean, I'm still trying to even just figuring out what's happening with me. I couldn't even begin to guess what all that means. It seems like you need to talk to, I don't know, a powerful wizard, maybe.
Well, I have a good idea what I think may be happening,
Oh, really?
but I'm a little afraid to get into it. Not because I don't trust you, but the ramifications may be fatal.
For me?
No,
For
no, no,
you?
no, no, no. Probably me.
So, if you explain your guess, it will kill you?
Maybe. Here, hold on a second. And he flips open to a page that's blank. All right, so I tell you what, write something about me. You describe me here, and then I'll tell you something.
Oh, okay. And I pick it up and I just write a quick description about your gray hair that kind of goes around your face and hand it back.
And like while you're doing that, you can tell that he's kind of like mulling something over, looking a little bit unsure. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, that's a good detail. That's a good detail.
Yeah, I like your hair.
Yeah, it's quite prodigious. Okay, well, here we go. I'm interested in characters, right?
Mm-hmm.
Things performing. And it's because I've been a bit of an actor in my life. I've played many roles. Not always kind, not always good, not always a wizard, not always a teacher, but sometimes all those things. And if I told you I had never had a brush with death before, I'd be lying to you. I've been there many times.
Okay.
But this one felt more real than usual.
The when we fell in the pit? Or
Yeah. And you see he's like laser beam locking eyes with you. Like he's kind of watching for a reaction.
it's mostly just kind of confusion and a little bit of uncomfortableness, and like you see him almost try to like shrink beneath his hood a little bit more as like from the stare. It's like the stare seems to make him pretty uncomfortable.
Yeah. Skeezer's like kind
well-
of gripping his own arms, like kind of crossing his arms in front of himself.
I mean, I don't really know what to make of it. I don't know. I mean, you've had a very full life, obviously, right? I'm not sure how long gnomes live for, but it seems like you'd. I mean, if you've been learning magic and adventuring, I'm not surprised to hear that.
So you would remember me as a wizard, as a gnome, as an
Yes.
adventurer. Anything
Was
else?
it- Well, yeah. You talked about telling stories to kids, so you like to tell as a storyteller. And
Hmm.
I mean, I guess you've told us that you have the illusion trait, and I've seen you do all kinds of neat things with that. And you're very polite to everyone, and you have that pet bird who's kind of strange, but seems nice. As long as he doesn't, eat ampersand or anything.
Well, he's a bit like immortal in a way.
Well, yeah, he's a magic bird, yeah.
Yeah. In the way that a lot of these things I create are immortal in a sense. They come and, if an arrow strikes them, they continue going. Or they pretend to die and disappear. It's all an act. You understand?
There's a very long pause. So, are you saying you're like Picard? You think?
You see Skeezer's like looking down at himself, kind of patting his arm. Yeah. Yes.
Like
Yes.
you're a magic
Yes.
you're a magic being too, like Picard is? Like you come from a different, like someone magically brought you here? Did you magically bring? I mean, I don't really know how it works, but I know you do your magic, and then Picard shows up. So you think someone did that, but with you?
Well, considering I'm still here, I feel a little bit more confident. Yes, I've been many things before.
You remember it?
For the most part.
Really? Oh.
Yeah, well, I've spent a lot of time just... I don't know what you would call the place, but it's not here. It's not the real... But I've been drawn forth many times, and I played various roles, like I said. Participated in great fights as a warrior, as a minotaur, or arrived as a peasant boy, on the streets. And sometimes I'm a wall, or other times I'm an animal or a tree.
And you remember all of it?
Usually these are things that just, you're there for an instant and then gone. And the thing that you are, whatever that is, it's not there for long.
So there's some wizard out there who made you?
Well, I have to assume.
You don't know who they are.
Well, no, I guess not. I mean, certainly I'd seen them before, but I don't remember.
Well, maybe they looked like how you look, since Dibben looks that way too.
It's possible.
But why let why let you go out into the world? You said you did have a whole life as a teacher still? That is all that happened?
Yeah, I did do that part. That part's true. But my life essentially started moments before that.
Oh?
No, I remember being in a cave and looking about and thinking, well, okay, my job's done. Good. I guess I'll wait for the next order. And I sat. And I sat. And I thought, well, usually this is over by now. Usually it's, And then I started looking at the cave and seeing what was in there, what was going on. And to be honest, I got really bored. So I just walked out. And when I walked out, it wasn't but like a day's walk before I came upon a settlement, a town. And in there were children. And since...
You needed a school teacher.
Well, yeah, that was my role. I was supposed to be a caring father figure of sorts. No, grandfather, I guess.
For someone in that cave before you went to the village?
Well, I think if I remember correctly, I was supposed to be an apprentice wizard. Somebody who was serving under a master and conducting himself in magical ritual. But, story can change over time, just adding little flares here and there.
Okay.
Evidently, whoever the master is must have been much, much, much older.
I guess it's all kind of a little over my head. I spent most of the last few months in a cage.
Well, to be fair, most things are over my head.
Oh, right. Yeah. Yeah. I probably shouldn't make jokes like that, right? I know Lindell was trying to teach me stuff about that earlier.
Oh, you should definitely make jokes about that to me.
Oh, okay, it's okay.
As it turns out, gnomes love jokes.
But the halflings, not as much. That's not a...
No, probably not. A little sensitive to that thing.
I read the word. Faux pas?
Yeah, that's a good word. Yes.
Okay, yeah. Yes, it's a faux pas. I won't... Yeah. Watch it around the halflings. Well, it's nice to know I can be open when talking to you, Skeezer. I don't... What do you want to do telling me all this? Can I help you somehow, maybe? I mean, if what you say is true, and, I mean, you're right. I guess we kind of have a little bit more in common than I thought.
Yeah, quite a bit, in fact. Well, as I said, I'm concerned because I don't know why I'm still here and whether I will safely stay here.
You seem pretty safe for now.
For now, yeah. But can you keep notes about me?
Oh, sure, yeah. I mean, you've probably seen. You're pretty observant. I keep a journal.
Yeah. I think that would make me feel better. At least,
yeah.
Keep things together.
So long as you don't mind, and I guess you wouldn't now that you just told me this, but I have written a few things down already, like what I mentioned to you about the cave. That's why I was able to remember it so much.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, we should definitely take a look at that. I just in case, can we not talk to the others about this yet?
Sure. Yeah, I understand why you'd ask me that.
Well,
yeah.
For all I know, maybe it's just your belief in me that keeps me here. You understand?
Come on. I mean, everyone else believes in you, Skeezer. You mean Balrin saved your life like twice.
For now. We'll see.
But yeah, no, I can do that. I thought I was pretty good at keeping secrets until tonight, but I'll do my best.
So, with the Baron, you said you had seen other creations, right?
Yeah.
What were they like?
I mean, why do you want to know?
Well, it gives me a better understanding of you and your experiences, the people you've interacted with since there have been so few. I assume that's what you meant by your brother that you were looking for. So it might make it easier to find him if I knew something about him.
Yeah, well, our father, he had a penchant for creating new life out of old ones, taking things that weren't meant to come together and combining them, and it wasn't quite necromancy. I know some of this, a little bit about what I understand about it, but he showed me a little bit sometimes when we create some of them. Specifically one I know I helped him with a little bit. It was 3 men that we made into 1 man. And he showed me how to sew.
So you were an assistant, a
Well,
protege.
only a little bit. I mean, he showed me one, I think, just because he wanted me to. I mean, when I was little, he was really kind of nice to me, and I don't think I really understood a lot of what was happening. But I grew pretty quickly, and I guess he thought I was ready to see some of the hard work come to fruition.
Well, think about the man. If there's one thing that the Baron
have to.
was, he was proud of his creations. Right?
Yeah, he was always talking about his art, talking about us like his art.
So, in a way, if he's willing to share the creation process with you, that must have been a very, very potent relationship for him.
I guess. I haven't really thought about it much, if I'm being totally honest. I try not to. But yeah, I had other siblings. I don't know what's happened to them.
Did they
Well, I
ever
guess
help
any of
with
them
the
do.
creations?
I don't think so. I mean, I wasn't around them all the time. He might have brought them in or not. I don't really know. There was a girl made of stars. She was really pretty. One who had a connection with nature. She was mean. A few others, electricity, and then there was me. And he told me once about what I am, and I don't really. I tried to read about it, but a lot of the books that I was locked away with, I mean, it's not like I had a bunch of encyclopedias. I had a few fun adventure novels that he kept in there. He knew I liked them, and that was about it. But I am part tiefling. That is true. But I'm also something else. The ASMR, and I only kind of understand a little bit about what that is. I know it's celestial, while the other part of me is more infernal, and it guess it contributes to my mood swings.
Yeah, I suppose so. So a blending of the two halves.
I think that's what he always used to gush about when he talked about me. But
That's
I mean,
it.
he would brag about his other kids too. I don't think there was anything necessarily special about me.
Well, maybe, maybe not. That's a very difficult thing to portray. Both good and bad at the same time. Cruel and yet generous and compassionate.
Well, from what I understand, that's a bit of a tiefling stereotype as it is. I don't think they're all cruel. I'm sure there's plenty of nice tieflings.
Well, I'm not saying that you think that. But from the artist's standpoint, it seems he was trying to make a statement. Two things that shouldn't be together in one.
I guess you're right. I wasn't really thinking about it from his perspective. It's not easy to think from his perspective if you knew him. He's I'm pretty sure I hopefully was insane. I think he should be dead. Pretty sure he's dead.
Most likely.
Hopefully he's dead. Oh, I really hope he's dead. Sorry.
Well, whatever his reasons for making you, you still have a destiny of some type, something.
I guess. I mean, I just want to try and help people since he did so many horrible things to people who didn't deserve it. I mean, none of these people in this village deserve what's happening to them either, but it seems like something weird is happening. This is not something that should be happening to these people normally. So maybe it's something we can stop.
Possibly.
A bunch of people who aren't supposed to apparently be here at all, or be helping people.
Or maybe everything is exactly as it should be,
I hope so.
When you read those books that you had with you as a kid,
Yeah.
what happened in those books?
I mean, usually like a dragon got slain or some evil lich, or it was just I wasn't sure if they were. I mean, I think when I was really young, I thought I was reading history books, but when I was a little older, thought maybe they were just made up. I don't really know for sure.
No, a lot of these events do happen. Whether those events particularly happen or not, I'm not sure. But the gods tell very many stories.
I have heard some of them sung about in a tavern, so I mean, maybe, but I knew they. I don't know. They inspired me. I wanted to be like them, and it was hard to think about the fact that I might be, or might have done things that hurt a lot of people.
Possibly. But maybe this is just my experience speaking here, but when you're created for a task, to do a thing, to be a character in a story, you do what the author creates. You don't have a choice.
I really hope that's not true.
Well, it depends on what the story is.
I don't want to do anything that the Baron thought he wanted from me. I know that for sure.
Well, the Baron didn't have any more control over his life than anyone else.
I guess not if he was stopped.
Yeah, few people would write that in their own story.
Yeah. Well, I hope we have a good story when all's said and done. And I mean, I know what you're saying about your theory, Skeezer, but I think you're pretty real. I'd reach out and give you a bit of a playful punch in the shoulder. You're fine. Overactor.
Oh, well.
I could learn a lot from you, though. You've always been pushing me to come out of my shell. So, and with that, I actually reach up and pull the hood back for what is probably the first time you've ever seen me do that. And my horns are not too long, but they kind of go back and curve a bit. And from being under a hood a whole bunch, I just have a lot of matted, kind of messy, like it's constantly bedhead, black hair.
Mm-hmm.
And ampersands, of course, on my shoulder. Thanks for always being so nice and always talking to me.
Yeah, you're very welcome. Is Ampersand also?
Yeah, he's half bat, half mouse.
Interesting.
Stretch out and spread the wings a little bit and cry out and then curl back in.
Bat mouse.
Hurry around my neck.
Mouse bat.
Yeah.
Mouse? No.
Oh, I never really tried to it's just ampersand because he's a bat and a mouse, and I think there might be some hamster in there, so just and ampersand.
I see. Okay, that makes a lot more sense now. I've always wondered.
Yeah. No, that's why. So, yeah, but he's a good guy. He's nice. I don't really. I feel like he's connected to all of this somehow. I don't really understand how yet, but I feel like sometimes when I picked all the locks that were on the those villagers we rescued from the slave island, after he kind of scurried down and put his paws on the locks and kind of looked at them for a little bit, I felt like I had an easier time opening them after that. I'm still trying to figure out what all that means, but I feel like him and we do have a bit of some kind of connection I don't really understand yet.
Have you always been together?
No. He Tack, who was my brother I was trying to find, he's half blink dog, so he can kind of blink around.
You'll never find him.
Yeah. No, probably not. I do hope he got away from everything. I think he thought I was dead, and he has every right to think that, I guess. I don't really blame him. I was upset for a little while, but I've kind of come to terms with it. He smuggled them in after I got locked up. Left him in there to keep me company.
Not sure what to make of that then. So he wasn't a Baron creation.
No, I'm pretty sure he is. I just, he's I always kind of like little animal friends, and there was always kind of a lot of weird ones going
Fair
about
enough.
where I grew up. So, yeah.
Well, we've come a long way, and, well, as long as these paladins are about, it's always going to be difficult for you. What do you think your plan is there?
I don't know. I know I want to help, and I feel like I'm already. I don't know. I know the dwarf doesn't much care for me, but the other one, the human, I believe her name was Aislinn.
Yeah, I think that's the name, yeah.
She knows enough about what I am and my dad to know not to ever trust me. I know that much, but I feel like I did make a bit of an impression since she's letting me sleep without supervision tonight and kind of putting me in your guys' care. I don't think she's supposed to do that. Maybe if we could help these people and I can prove that I'm not some creation that's going to go berserk and kill everyone, she'll just let me go. I don't know. I was thinking about it for a while. When they first approached us last night, kind of lost track of all time at this
It might
point.
still be tonight, honestly. It's all definitely one long 50-hour session.
Yeah, but I kind of thought I had no choice but to go with them. I mean, I thought I deserved to go with them after what I did to their friends. But now, after thinking about it, I know they're just gonna take me and I'm gonna get locked in another cage and I'm gonna get poked and I'm gonna get prodded, and I don't want to be locked in another cage.
No,
Why
nobody
I wanted to
deserves
help
that.
those enslaved people so much because I hated being stuck in my own, and the thought of that happening to anyone just makes my stomach turn. I don't want that to happen again, but I don't want to run. I feel like I'd be proving them right. I don't know what to do.
Well, you do what you feel. Because ultimately speaking, as much as we like to think we make decisions and have choices, we don't. We're on a path of some kind. The things that happen, they happen. Those people, Aislinn and what is that dwarf's name? How do I forget that man's name? Such a grumpy asshole.
Owen.
Owen. Yes. That's who they are. They were put in a place where their life is scripted, in a way. Their job is to pursue and to hunt. To slay what they've been told is evil. They don't really spend a lot of time considering what they're doing. They just do. The same as animals just do. They hunt. They run in the woods. They make burrows. That's what we are.
You see, I, having got it worked up before, my eyes had turned red at that point. I let out a deep breath, and they kind of fade back into white again. Yeah, I know that they're following orders, and I don't know. I'm kind of hoping that if I can prove that I'm okay, they'll just let me go away with you guys. And I don't know. Maybe that's a dumb thing to hope for.
Well, let's think this through quickly. Are you evil?
I hope not.
Well, you would know. Are you evil? In the deepest, do you feel that you're deceiving me into believing that you're a good person?
No, but I don't.
No, you're not. So.
But the Baron, what she was getting at earlier about me, I just feel like I've seen it happen with the way that those things burst out of people. I worry that I'll just something will trigger in me one day and I don't know what'll happen.
Well, and if it does, it does. If not, there's no sense in worrying about it. Can you change it?
I mean, I guess I'm trying to change it. I hope. I don't know. I guess if it happens, I don't know.
Well, let's think about it this way, too. If it never happens, what will your life have been?
Either a short life trying to help people, but I got killed doing so, or hopefully a long life of helping people where I proved everyone wrong. I don't really expect that to happen, but I mean, I guess that would be pretty nice.
Can you do either of those things if you go into custody?
No.
No.
Can't.
You'd be taken, put in a cage, if you're lucky, but more than likely killed, and probably dissected.
Right.
Because they don't know what you are.
Right.
And if you don't know who you are, you can't expect them to know who you are. And if they don't know who you are, there's no way that they can know best.
Well, if I ever found myself brought up and I need someone to speak for me, I'm definitely going to have you do it, Skeezer. Assuming you're, still in existence.
Yeah.
But I want to stop believing in you, so you better still be around.
I'll stick around. There's too much interesting stuff out here. You included.
Thanks, I guess. Hopefully we can do some good tomorrow. I am really tired though, Skeezer. I do need to. I think we all need to get a little bit of sleep if we're going to help anybody tomorrow, right?
Yeah, you're definitely right. It's going much further than this. We're going to be useless.
Yeah.
Well, in case we all die tomorrow, it's been good knowing you.
I think we'll pull through. We've been through worse, right? But it's a bunch of lizard people.
Think about that last meal
people.
idea. We end up at the bottom of a pit. I want you to have an answer next time.
Oh, yeah. You know what? I think that dessert we had from Seconds and Thirds, actually, I have been thinking about this. The chocolate rock candy thing. I would love to eat that again before I go. I think it would be that.
It's excellent. Well, I'll leave you at that. And as Skeezer is walking out, an illusion of that dessert appears on your table.
That's not cool, Skeezer.
Has scent
you're
and
buying
everything.
me one of those when we go back into town.
Good night.
Good night, Skeezer.
Then he shuts the door and goes back to his room.
Make my second potion and go to bed.